I'm Paul Taylor, the Chief Economist for the National Automobile Dealers Association. We're located in McLean, Virginia, right outside of Washington.
Any closing thoughts?
Well, we certainly have had an interesting 7 or 8 years. It's been a record level of new car sales. We've been through a recession in which car sales didn't fall dramatically, nor did housing. Now we're going to go through a period where we may avoid recession. But even if we do, we're going to see car sales fall, and we're in the second year of falling profitability, and actually starting the third year of falling profitability for franchise new car dealers. So the recession in car sales that we didn't get in 2001, but we're seeing over the last several years in a mild way. So to a certain extent, it doesn't matter whether there's a recession or not with respect to the dealerships. We know it's a big ticket item. The decision by the consumer is related to how his housing is doing and his housing concerns, and we know that's going to slow somewhat franchise new car dealers' sales of new cars. So we're going to have sales that fell last year and will fall this year, regardless of where the economy is slightly negative or slightly positive in any given quarter. We don't have 2 negative quarters yet. In fact, we don't have even 1 negative quarter. So if the first quarter was negative, that would be our first negative quarter. There is a possibility that the fourth quarter is revised downward. It's only 0.6% in terms of growth, and it could be revised into a negative category. If that were to occur, then technically we'd have a recession, although not much of one. But for car sales, it's simply been slowing down and will slow down this year as well.
One last question. A lot of people in California are saying it hasn't hit bottom yet, the housing market hasn't, and they're waiting until it hits bottom, somehow they're going to know. But then they're going to buy their house. Do you see people doing that with cars, where they're going to they're waiting for cars to hit bottom and waiting for more incentives, less interest rate, and then they're going to buy a car?
It certainly is a time when people will be looking for the bottom of the housing market and looking for super deals in cars, but at 0% to prove that there's always somebody that you didn't expect to buy a car that will when you offer the right price. Particularly 0% financing was very effective after 9/11, after the terrorist attacks. I think one of the reasons why we did not see a recession in either housing or car sales at that time, and had a pretty strong year in 2001. And we're starting to see some of those offers come back, and they'll be very attractive to consumers in the middle of a credit crunch driven by real estate difficulties. But my dealers are telling me they're not having trouble getting people financing, particularly people with relatively strong credit histories. There is, in some cases, a little more shopping that needs to be done to assist the consumer in finding subprime financing for used cars, but that's the exception to the rule rather than the rule. It seems to be going fairly well so far. And remember, the Federal Reserve's policy puts a lot of liquidity into the system, and we think that helps get us through this patch of credit difficulties as well.
Paul Taylor, thank you very much.
Good to be with you.